is where I am at the moment. Hey guys, alright, so I actually recorded this yesterday and I was supposed to post this yesterday, but I didn't post it yesterday because I had to pick up Kayla and just a lot of stuff, so it was just an unplanned day yesterday. But anyways, I'm back here. I'm at the park at the moment and I'm actually facing this beautiful view. This is in San Pedro and it's just so peaceful here. So peaceful. And then I guess I was such in a rush that I forgot to bring my tripod with me, my laptop. So I have to hold the camera the whole time I'm talking. So if I move it a little, I apologize in advance. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about my anxiety as shown in the title, as you can see. And pretty much I feel like it's a subject that not a lot of people are comfortable talking about, and that's totally fine. It is a very personal subject, but I feel like it's not talked about a lot. And it needs to be talked about much more, and people should be aware of what it is, what the condition is, and whatnot. So I'm gonna try not to rant as much because I feel like it'd be a really, really long video. So I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression about 2 years ago, and before I was even diagnosed, I had no clue what anxiety was, and I knew in my head like I was never depressed. So at least I thought I wasn't. I don't know, but my first attack actually started in 2016, and it was a normal day for me. I was shopping at Target with my daughter, doing normal things I usually do, and all of a sudden this rush of anxiety just hit me, and I freaked out. Like, I went into straight panic mode. And if you don't know how anxiety feels like, it's kind of like you can't breathe. For me, I can't breathe. My palms start getting sweaty, my ears start ringing, and I start thinking about all these things. Like, you just start thinking about a lot of things that you shouldn't be thinking about. Like, you have all these bad thoughts, and that's how I know, okay, shit, like, I'm about to have an anxiety attack. I start feeling a little shaky, my heart starts pounding, whatever. But anyways, so my first time it started was at Target. Went to full panic mode, left everything that I had in the cart and grabbed my daughter and left Target. Went to my car, and then for some reason I felt some kind of relief. So that was my first time I ever had anxiety, like my first ever anxiety attack, and I didn't even know that it was anxiety. So that really freaks me out. Alright, so I'm in a different spot now. It's a little darker right here, but we actually just went across the street from where I was at, just to get a closer view of the ocean. But where I left off at, I was talking about my first experience with my anxiety. So that's how I feel when I'm about to have an anxiety attack. I start hearing ringing in my ear, my heart starts pounding, my palms start getting sweaty. You basically feel like you're going to die in a way. That's how I feel, actually. But I mean, others may feel a different type of feeling, but that's just how I feel. Basically, the feeling of anxiety, a lot of people won't admit it, but it does feel like you're dying. And I know that's a very strong word, but that's how I feel when I'm having an anxiety attack. You basically feel like your world is just going to end at that very second. And it really sucks because before it would happen at times that I never would think it would happen. And so it was getting really bad, and I had told my doctor, hey, what can I do for my anxiety, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, if you guys are gonna go see a doctor, see a good doctor, and not a doctor that's just the only alternative is medication, because basically what she did was just send an RX, a prescription, to the pharmacy for I forgot what medication it was, but it was definitely for it was an antidepressant, whatever. And you guys should do your research before you guys even start taking any type of medication from the doctor, just because there's a lot of side effects to it as well. And I've heard from different people that it's hard to like wean off of those type of medications. So if you've been on the medication and it's working fine for you, then everybody's different. Let's see, another thing, when I'm starting to have an anxiety attack, when I'm feeling anxious, I start feeling like really shaky and not comfortable at all. After that incident, it kind of spooked me to where I did not want to go to the store alone. I had my boyfriend run my errands for me, which was turning into like a social anxiety where I was just scared to be around people. And then it also started to affect my work. And mind you, I've been working in the medical field for about 6 years, so being with patients face to face wasn't a big problem to me up until after that incident. And so then I'd start having anxiety when I'm in a room with a patient and I'd have to leave just because I felt like I just couldn't breathe in any way. And it's hard to talk about this with people who don't understand really how you're feeling, because to them they never felt that feeling. And sometimes some people may think you're crazy because of the things you say. So finding somebody who understands what you're feeling and talking about it, and somebody who's comforting, surround yourself around people who understand what's going on, because some people don't understand and some people may joke about it to you or like just not take it serious, but it is a serious thing. Yeah, it's a serious thing. So a lot of people don't really understand how you're feeling. Another thing is, also, it can also like with other people like that I've known, it affects your work, it affects, you hang out with your friends, it can affect you just being out. And that's basically what happened with me, was that like I'd be scared to just venture out to new places without feeling anxious or nervous in any way, and I don't know why I feel that way. And it sucks because you just never know when it's going to happen. My anxiety hasn't been that bad now since I've really looked into it, really educated myself about anxiety, and saw natural methods that you can try. Not all methods are going to work. So a lot of people put out there like these methods that guarantee that's going to work, but sometimes it doesn't work. But a big number one tip for me, or for anybody who's experienced anxiety or has anxiety frequently, is to pretty much take deeper breaths. Because when you're in the moment of having one, you just feel like you can't breathe and your heart is pounding. So you're so focused on all of that you start losing your mind. But it's all in your mind. You get me? So you have to take deeper breaths and just focus on your breathing and tell yourself like, hey, I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna be okay. And it'll usually go away. For me, it'll take probably a minute or so to just breathe and just take deeper breaths and tell myself I'm gonna be okay. And sometimes that method might not work when I'm having a really bad anxiety attack. And another thing that worked for me actually is essential oils. So I actually use the lavender essential oil, and when I'm feeling like I can't like sleep at night or anything like that, I rub essential oils on my body, the lavender essential oil, and that really works for me, just because at nighttime my anxiety usually strikes at night. And that's like the worst, because then you can't sleep. Your body's so tired that your mind is still running like 24 hours. Like your mind is still awake, but your body's asleep. So you're not gonna have a good night's sleep, and you probably might not even be able to sleep. So I do lavender essential oils. Definitely recommend that. And another tip is pretty much getting out of your comfort zone. Is that on my face, baby? It's on my face.
Yes.
So the first method that I do when I'm feeling anxious or having an anxiety attack is you've got to focus on your breathing, because when you're having an anxiety attack, your just main focus is like, what is going on? Like for me before, I would just panic. I'd go in straight panic mode. I'd freak out and like I would just freak the fuck out. Like I'd feel like a hysterical person whenever I'm having an anxiety attack. So I figured out that breathing really helps when you just breathe. Taking deeper breaths, because if you don't take deeper breaths, then you feel like you just can't breathe at all and you're like hyperventilating and you're choking on air basically. So breathing has really helped me whenever I'm feeling anxious or I'm having an anxiety attack. Just practice deeper breaths and tell yourself that everything's gonna be okay, that you're fine, like you could get through this, because it's all in your mind. So you just gotta tell yourself you're fine. You know what I mean? Put yourself in a different like body and tell yourself like, hey, this isn't me. And hopefully that helps some people, but that's, you know, that may help some people, may not help some people. Okay, so as you guys can tell, I'm in a different place. I'm actually at home now, so I didn't get to finish what I was recording because my daughter was hungry, so we had to cut and leave, so I couldn't film the rest. So I'm back home now, and I think I left off on methods and how I cope with my anxiety. So first thing that I highly recommend for those who are feeling anxious in any way, and it helps for me a lot, is taking deeper breaths. Because when you're having an anxiety attack or you're feeling anxious in any way, we go into this sort of panic mode. And I don't know if you guys feel that same way, if you do deal with anxiety, if you go into this kind of panic mode, but when I'm going into this panic mode, I forget to breathe because I'm thinking in my head like all these thoughts, like, oh my goodness, something's wrong with me, what's going on? You feel faint. You feel just exhausted, nauseous, and all of that. You just worry. I worry. So instead of me focusing on breathing, I'm over here worrying instead. So it's like I'm choking on air and like trying to grasp for air. So what I do now, another thing is meditating, and some people may have different thoughts about meditating, but for me, meditating has helped me. So in the morning, before you get your day started, take time, like 5 minutes, to just sit down, close your eyes, focus on your breathing, take away all that negative energy. And for me, I just think about what I'm thankful for, and I think about, you know, all the positive things that's happened. So meditating has helped me, and you can definitely practice that, incorporate it into your morning routine before you start your day. That's what I do. And another thing is definitely keeping active, working out, taking a walk helps also. I mean, you know, I have my days when I feel lazy and I just don't feel like doing anything, but just walking around, being in a different environment will definitely help. Since I've had anxiety, I've learned to definitely control it in a way. Not all the time. Sometimes it'll hit me by surprise, but sometimes I'll know when it's about to trigger, and I kind of just set my mind onto something else. I think about something else. Just because you don't want these anxiety feeling, these thoughts in your head to cause anxiety. So you kind of just want to put yourself in a different position if it's about to happen. And that's what I do. I think about different things. I focus on different things. So keeping your mind focused, definitely. Another thing for me that helps at nighttime, because I used to get anxiety frequently at night. It's not as severe as before, but before it used to be really bad to the point where I would just take Benadryl to go to sleep because I'd feel like my heart is pounding. I'd lay down and I just feel like I couldn't breathe. So I'll stand up and then I'll just feel like I'm just hysterical, crazy. But it'll prevent me from having a good night's sleep. And then the next day I'll just feel so groggy. So what I learned and read about was that essential oils help. And so I was like, okay, let me try this out. So the lavender oil is the one that I use, and it actually helps relax my mind, especially before I'm about to go to sleep and I'm having anxiety. I have a roll-on one I got from CVS. There's a bunch of different brands that carry essential oils. You can try it, but I use the lavender one, and I just pretty much put it around my décolleté area, on my shoulders, just so that I can smell it. I don't want to put it on my face, so I don't know if it's even good for the face, honestly, so don't put it on the face. I don't recommend it. But put it somewhere where you can smell it, so somewhere close to the face, I guess you can say that. And another thing is, sorry, I'm getting off topic. Another thing is also just getting out of your comfort zone and doing things that you used to do before you had anxiety. So things that, like, just say like you used to like going ice skating, but now you feel like you have a fear of going there because there's just, you know, all these thoughts going through your head. Just doing it will make you overcome that anxious feeling. So till this day, I still have this weird social anxiety where I do go to places and there's a lot of people and I'm just very awkward and quiet. And many times that would happen. I mean, even when I'm about to go to my friend's house, I still get anxious feelings, but I tell myself to breathe. I tell myself everything's gonna be okay, just go. And then once I'm there, my anxiety will go away sometimes and I'll feel okay. It's just like you have to push yourself to do things that you used to do and that used to make you happy. Because I know sometimes it's hard to do the things that you used to do when you're feeling anxious in any way. So I really hope this video helps those who are experiencing anxiety, have anxiety, or were diagnosed with anxiety and depression, or have any type of other disorders that you're dealing with, just because I know it's not talked about a lot, and I totally understand. It's definitely a personal thing, and the reason I'm voicing myself out is because I don't mind talking about it. I will definitely speak freely about it because I feel like it's not talked about a lot, and I know there's people out there who think that they're alone in this, but you're not alone in this. A lot of people deal with this type of disorder, and yeah, so I really hope that this helps those who just needed to hear someone to talk. I know, or hear somebody, just needs to hear somebody talk about it. So that's why I made this video. And a lot of people that I know that have anxiety and dealing with it wanted me to make a video like this. So I really hope this helps you guys. And I know it wasn't a vlog, and I know it wasn't like a tutorial or anything like that, but I just thought that I'd share that story with you guys. And yeah, so I hope you guys liked this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Oh, my daughter came out.
Hi. I just waked up with Nori.
Okay.
With my Nori, or my doggy Nori.
Come here. I'm gonna say bye. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.